Molweni, greetings Mzansi, and welcome to another episode of Being Mrs. Sweet. If you are new here, welcome home. Tata istolo uhlale phansi, tata amanzi uphuze, and don't forget to subscribe while you are at it. But if you're of course a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support. Yakum Dasekaya. We're here to learn. We're here to unlearn. And you got me. What else do you need? For those who know me, igama lam ndinguyamkela Mqikela, but that's not even my name anymore. So I think, guys, let's stop that. Masi cut in la ba. Greetings Mzansi, igama lam ndinge, Greetings Mzansi, igama lam ndingulimisen. See? I think that can work. For those Amandazi, I am a host and co-producer of Underrated CPT, which is a show that focuses on profiling artists, creators, entrepreneurs. It's also Bandazi from being a founder of Sisterhood 4-1, which is an organization of women empowerment, all types of women, shapes, sizes. Doesn't matter, as long as you classify yourself to be a woman, you definitely fall part of Sisterhood 4-1. But because I am the Director of Engagement and Events for World Merit South Africa, but also the lead advocate for SDG 9, Sustainable Development Goal 9, which is innovation, industry, as well as infrastructure. Pakla adopted township yamke ekhaya. So basically that is usislimise, that is uyamkela wakamqekela, but we're not here to talk about me. We are here to talk about we're here to talk about debt. We're here to talk about finances. We're here to talk budget. We're here to educate each other. So let's go learn while we unlearn. So one thing for sure is that I know that Sililucha, or we are a youth that like things. We love a soft life. You know what I'm talking about. So with that being said, we intend to forget that when you like nice things and you like the soft life, they require money that is of your own. You know what I mean? So, doing things the systematic way of life, having to go to school, having to go to varsity or college, becoming a graduate, finding a job, and you are employed by Baas John and life wako uyapopa because une salary and une pay slip and you're able to pay bills. Then you decide to purchase a car and you start renting and in. Life will great. And you start looking fly and you start slaying and you start wearing fur and you start having nails and having lashes and then life will great. So basically what I want to speak about today is having the balance, because the things that I'm going to speak about today are things that are not taught at schooling. So I just felt that let me take it upon myself, and educate our Black brothers and our Black sisters, and hopefully every South African out there, who can feel me, you understand? Like, who can relate. Yes, George, English, guys. Now, the word consolidation, the word to consolidate means to take everything and put it into one. So if you're having a car, a home loan, credit cards, store cards, overdraft, all of those things, it means to take them and put them into one, to consolidate them, so that at the end of every single month you can have one debit order running for all of these things. Okay, so the first thing, let's talk debt. What is debt? Debt is money that is not yours. So as long as you are spending money that is not yours, that you need to pay back, that is debt. It's not yours. So with that being said, it starts, at a very young age. And I felt that let me address it's a pandemic, because unemployment is also a pandemic and people lose their things and then so they're embarrassed that what is people gonna say, because now I lost my car, I've lost my home, and so which is, there's no problem with going back at home and starting over because you're not starting from scratch. But we'll get to all that as well. Guys, debt. Let's stay away from debt. So if you're looking into purchasing a car, the first thing I want to say is find out, does it have a balloon payment? Ne? Ask, does it have a balloon payment? Because a balloon payment is the amount or the lump sum that you pay after 5 years of paying the installment of this car. You know what I mean? Before it officially becomes your car, you would have to pay that balloon payment. So you need to ask and find out. Find out what the interest on the car is. Guys, interest rate is very important. Ne? Like for me personally, when I came into the industry, I did counseling. I don't want to lie. In those interest rates and don't I last heard of them when I was in high school. I think I was doing accounting or business or something. Yeah, like dynamic engineer. So in the real life, I wasn't talking about interest. I wasn't counting my money with interest. You know what I mean? First job. So ask questions. What is the interest rate? You know, is there a balloon payment? For how long will I be paying this car? What is the amount, the installment amount that I can pay every single month? Does it, fit well with your budget? Once that installment goes off, how is your month looking like? I don't like this thing where there's no grocer, in the house, but you are in the car and you are verifying. Guys, let's see, man. So we'd first check whether i-installment iyaphuma and then ke ngoku nemali yegross apha endlini ikhona. Zonke izinto funeke zibe khona. You understand? First thing. Okay, so the second thing I wanted to speak about was, let's say you have all these things, all these nice things, nemoto, you have a house, you got your life together, you're living great. Your family and your friends don't really know your finances, so it becomes a very difficult thing when they see you in the streets and they're like, "Ole mali," and you're like, "I know mali," and you're driving a nice car. It happens, people see what they see and but okay, no, I sure they've made it. So if you're in a situation where you feel that you cannot juggle okanye maintain okanye whatever, i-finances awukwazi uphefumla nje in general, then this conversation is for you. If you feel bana, I need assistance, salary is not enough to cover both the debit orders that run every single month and to cover living expenses zasendlini, then this conversation is definitely for you. If you're earning 3,000, 5,000, 8,000, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, 45,000, 50,000, this conversation is also for you, because then you need to understand what it means to budget, what it means to live within your means, not to have a fancy and expensive lifestyle that you can't really afford. Even if you're earning 50,000 rand, you can't afford to be just out of the blue. You can't just wanting to be buying expensive bottles. You understand? And wearing the most expensive brands. Awunamali. Awunamali. Stop. Invest your money. You understand? Retirement, pension funds, investments, long-term offshore, tax-free. Guys, we need. Let's stop this thing of buying brands esingazidingiyo. 2 months down the line, simbachile okanye sindala okanye siye satshiswa yinto okanye saeshelwa okanye sachilwa. You don't need that t-shirt anymore. You don't wear it anymore. And you spend all that money for what? So let's cut that. Then, so this conversation is for you. I want to speak about consolidation. The word consolidation. What does it mean to consolidate your debt in South Africa? So a lot of people are getting confused, and I think it's because of lack of information and knowledge. So once again, taking it upon myself to give you this information. It's free of charge. There are 2 types of ways in which one is able to consolidate their debt in South Africa. The first one is a consolidation loan. The second one is debt counseling. Both of these are consolidation plans. Now, a consolidation loan, in fact, before I get to that, I said there's 2 types of consolidation plans. You don't get debt consolidation. There is no such thing as debt consolidation. You only get a consolidation loan and you get debt counseling, not debt consolidation. I hope that's clear. If anyone calls you and tells you that they can assist you with debt consolidation or they can debt consolidate your debt or whatever, right there and then you should ask them, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean exactly? Because people are getting trapped into debt counseling, which they say upfront that they don't want, which we'll also get to later on why they don't want it. So there's a consolidation loan and there's debt counseling. Now, a consolidation loan is only offered by the big 5 banks in South Africa. The big 5 banks. Okay, so that's the consolidation loan. Next up, debt counseling process. If you have any questions regarding the consolidation loan, please feel free to comment down below. And I can answer any questions that you might have. Or if you'd like me to make another video, please feel free to let me know and I can share some of the information I have with you guys. The next one, debt counseling. So, debt counseling is formed by the government. So debt counseling is also a form of consolidating your debt. Now, the consolidation loan, which is what I explained earlier on, does that. Now, then you get the debt counseling process. The debt counseling process is different to the consolidation loan. The debt counseling process was designed by the government. That's the first thing that we all need to understand. It wasn't someone that just came, debt counseling. No, it is part of the NCR, National Credit Regulator, and falls part of that act, under the government. So debt I'm laughing inside because I'm thinking when people hear the word debt counseling, they start losing their mind. They're like, hey, nah, it's funny. Hey, people start losing it. And I understand why. I actually took some time to understand why. 2.5 years in the debt counseling industry, I got to understand that before debt counseling was called debt counseling, it was called debt review. And for me, I can also get the gist of why people, they become agitated and just they lose it. It's because when it was called debt review, this is now pre-2012, 2014. Yeah, but it was called debt review, and we all thought that government had this microscope, and they are checking by what are you doing with those finances, loan P, where did you open your stock card? We all felt the pressure that we were being micromanaged and government was on us for some odd reason. But reality and the truth is that government designed the debt review process to assist our people. So I always put it this way because it's the truth. As abantu abamnyama, or as my kind, we are taught that you work hard for your money, you sweat, that's the kaya for imali yakho, then uyitye ngehlobo ofuna uyitya ngalo. You know what I mean? They will find the direct translation. And then you spend your money how you want it because you've worked for it. So le nto yokuba asifune izinto ezizalula or whatnot, andiyazi. I'm still movie film where we need to do big guys. So work for your money and spend it how you want to spend it. But also at the end of the day, spend within budget. Stop trying to prove a point to everyone else when you don't have to. This will annoy you. We don't care. We don't care. So it debt counseling designed by the government, and the IBs will take debt review. So now it debt review, once again, government, it had loopholes, it debt review. And that is why abantu bepheneka ngayo till this day. Government introduced debt review, and it could have been anyone calling you, to say, listen, I know this thing, yamatyala, and I can speak to your credit providers on your behalf. And you don't even have to pay this much. You can pay this much. I will help you. I will help you. Me, you can trust. Yes, me. Here's my bank account. Send the money here, and we will start this thing. You understand? So it was that kind of setup. A debt review. I also feel like, once again, loopholes ka government wetu are showing in the processes, and the policies put in place, because it that review did not work out, and people felt the way they felt because it could have been anyone calling you, and it was scams. It was scams. Our people were scammed. Our people lost so much money. And when I say our people, I'm talking South Africans in general. you know they've lost a lot of money from desperate times and thinking that this person is going to help me, and government introduced this debt review, and I'm being microscoped, check what's happening in finances. So people are scared because debt review people or scammers at the time that used the word debt review or the process itself to scam other people. Yeah, so that was a debt review. It was called a debt review, which is still a debt counseling, but the difference is that government had to amend those policies to ensure how good it is working for our people. And I think that's why I worked for the company that I worked for. I don't think I would have ever I wouldn't. I wouldn't work for any other company in the debt counseling industry besides the company that I worked for. I'll put the link down below. So 2014, roundabout, government changed the name debt review to debt counseling. So first thing you hear is, I'm not being reviewed, I'm being counseled. There's an ease, for me personally, I feel. Or that's how I looked at it, at least. Debt counseling. So now I'm being counseled about my debt. Yeah. And then the government said, because there was no time frame, you were paying imali yakho for 6, 7, 10 years, all this time, kanti, and amatyala akho have doubled from the time you started with this person, debiting from your account, saying that they would assist you. That broke my heart. I don't want to lie. Stories like that broke my heart, and that is why I was so dedicated to my job. I wanted to make sure that you will never ever go through that experience again, not on my watch. So when it was changed into debt counseling, then the government said it shouldn't take a consumer more than 5 years, to clear off the debt. But very importantly, the reason why the government actually introduced debt counseling was because our people took out these store cards and took out these credit cards, and they were failing, to pay them back. So then the government introduced this debt counseling so that you don't have to pay back on this high interest rate. Because remember, the stores or the credit providers, the people that you borrow money from, they are making a business. For them, this is nothing but business. You coming in there, doesn't matter how good your relationship is with them, and trust me, it will be great because they need to make money out of you, and that is the sad reality. So, and that is why I was saying earlier on, stay away from the short-term micro payday loans, because those people don't care about you. They don't care about your problems. You can come there and tell them all your problems, and they'll give you the money, because at the end of the day, they need to make money out of you, and it's interest. Going back to that, they give you 20 rand, and when you bring it back, it's 70 rand. So government was like, okay, if you can find a debt counselor, which is an intermediary, a company, or someone that can assist you. I don't think it's any longer someone now. It's majority companies. But if you do find someone, great. But always definitely check the reviews, see what the website says, go on the internet, do your research. It's very, very important to do your research first before you sign anything. Don't sign blank documents and send to us. No, read what you are signing, because what happens now is these companies are taking your signature and pasting them on top of things that you did not agree to. Very important. So debt counseling is designed by the government, and the government then said it shouldn't take you more than 5 years for you to finish paying off your debt. It can take you anything less than that. So, the people that were complaining about, I've been paying for 6, 8, 10 years and my debt has doubled. That's the first thing you want to find out when you do that assessment with Unati is, how long is this process going to take me? That information is transparent. It's communicated to you up front so that you know what you are signing yourself into, if that makes any sense. So, do the assessment, find out how long is it going to take you, how much is your current debt, how much would you have paid overall, how much would you have paid overall with the interest without the debt counseling process. Find out about the company, what are other people saying about the company, the reviews, on Hello Peter, on Google reviews, Facebook, everywhere. Do your research. And so also, this is very, very important. You do not, once you go under debt counseling, you don't pay immediately for the service or for the first fee, first month's fee. No. Or the debit order is going to run. Today you sign up, tomorrow the debit order is running. No. The debit order has to run once all debit orders have been confirmed to be cancelled by your credit providers. That takes about 2 to 3 weeks now, since it's lockdown, with the restrictions and everything. Businesses are experiencing a backlog, but 2 3 weeks to ensure that your debit orders are cancelled and that your first debit order of whatever the lower amount is under debt counseling, is going to run, and your other credit providers are not going to debit from your account. So you need to make sure that there is open and transparent communication between you and the person or the company that is dealing with your debt counseling process. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anything else, but if you have any questions or you want to find out more, or you just want to know something, please feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video.